Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm in a 50,000 chip entry tournament. There's 144 players left of the 497 that started. And there are 135 people will be paid. So the bubble, which is what everybody hopes to surpass in a tournament, is coming up fast. And I'm just sitting here playing with these people and hoping that I get some good cards so that I can go from 32nd place up to a better finish. As it is, if I hold my position at 32nd place, I'll get paid 159,000 chips for a profit of 109,000. Now, here we go. I've got a 4-8 suited, which is not really a good card for a 9-player table. So I'm going to fold this. This particular player here is, he's very aggressive. And I made a note of that on his profile. Now, if I would have called with my 4-8 of hearts, I would have a 4 flush. But I don't like to play low cards that are suited, especially at this stage in the tournament. I'll get a little bit more aggressive after the bubble, and you'll see an explosion on the table here when 3 more people get eliminated from this tournament. Here again, this nutsack, the player next to me, who is aggressive, is raising. He tends to raise with cards that are not real good. And so I have to be cautious of playing mediocre cards with him following me. It's just one of the things that you learn over time in a tournament. Now there's a delay here, and that means that there's going to be a couple players eliminated, and they hold up the tournament until that happens, so that slow players don't get an advantage. But in any case, you're going to see an explosion here on the table, and that means that everybody that's still in the tournament is in the money. Now, there it is. Okay. I have a 9-6 offsuit. I'm going to fold that. And right now, there's 43 seconds left in this blind level. That means that the big blind and the small blind are going to go up in 30 seconds. Now, there's no way that it's going to get around to me in 26 seconds. But I want to make a point of knowing how soon the blind level is going to change, because it makes a difference in how you might want to play your hand, fast or slow. Now, there's 3 seconds. I'm not in a hurry, but I'm not a slow player. I'm going to fold a 2-4 offsuit. There's basically no condition that I would play a 2-4 offsuit unless I was in the big blind and nobody raised. So as it is, I'm guaranteed 130 or 69,000 chips. So I've already made a profit of 19,000, and the next step up is 80,000 if I make it to 117th place. I've got an ace nine, which are pretty good cards, but I'm going to fold because I'm in the first position. If anybody that follows me around the table has good cards or wants to make a bluff, I would be stuck with what I'd call a mediocre uh, pair of cards, and it's just a chance that I don't like to take. If I was in this particular position or on the button or even the small blind, I would definitely call with an ace nine offsuit. Be sure and watch the cash game that I posted. Um, it gives a lot more insight into the basic game of Hold'em, and it's not related so much to poker tournaments. There's a little different. You have to go in with a little different mindset to a tournament than you would in a cash game. Um, where in a cash game you can sit down and get up and leave at any particular time. In a tournament, you get in and you enter and you play until you're eliminated or you eliminate all the other players. Now I've got a 7-3 offsuit. I'm in the small blind, but I'm going to fold them simply because of the fact that I'm looking for better cards. And the player before me was just eliminated, so that meant that I skipped the big blind and saved 500 chips. Sometimes you get lucky that way. Right now I've got a pair of jacks, and if nobody else raises, I'm going to put in a pretty hefty raise here. I might even go all in. Yeah, I'm going to go all in just because I don't want this guy to get in there. He's got it. Maybe he'll call. He won't. Yeah, no. I would just as soon take the pot than chance somebody having an ace, king, or a queen and pairing up on the flop, because then my jacks are basically worthless. And so sometimes you want to bet um, more. You want to bet enough to get everybody out. I have a king eight offsuit. I'm going to fold them. Some people would play that, but at this stage in the tournament, I only want to play really good cards, and a king eight is not what I would call really good cards. Now I have a 4-6 offsuit. I'm going to fold that. And now by the way, now the tournament is down to 112 players, and so anybody that gets eliminated from here on will get at least 80,000 chips. And now this player went all in with 4,600 chips. It'll be interesting to see if anybody calls him. Oh, he's got a pair of aces. This guy with the pair of fives was all in, so he's eliminated. Now I've just been moved to a new table. This happens periodically, and as players get eliminated, they consolidate the remaining players and try and keep the tables full. I've got a 5-10 offsuit. Not good cards. I'm going to fold. And this is so typical of how you play a tournament. You just look at cards and look at cards and look at cards, and you fold the bad ones and you play the good ones. And with any luck, the good cards that you play are good enough to win a hand. And the thing you want to watch out for is getting into a hand where somebody has a better hand, and that's the name of the game, especially in a tournament. This particular player's all in, and and so he's either gonna win this pot or he's gonna be eliminated. There's a possible straight on the board. If anybody has a 9 or an ace king, they have a straight. This guy won with a pair of 10s with the ace kicker. Now I have a 2-10 offsuit, not good cards. I'm early in the rotation, so I just fold. This particular guy, he's got an image of whatever that is, and I've mentioned this before. I tend to block images, which is a real easy. You just put your cursor on there and click and select block image. You'll notice nobody at the table has images. They either didn't have one or I deleted it or I blocked it. Now look at that. This guy bluffed and this guy called, and neither one of them really had anything. Now I have an ace-6. I'm at the beginning of the rotation. I'm not going to call. I mentioned notes. Any player that has a yellow outline like this, I've made a note on him. This particular guy rebuys 3 times. Now, in this tournament, there was a 30-minute period where you could rebuy. In other words, if you lost all your chips, you could rebuy. And I made a note of this guy. I don't know how many times, or even if he rebought this in this tournament, but I see at one point he rebought 3 times in a tournament. This particular guy's, he goes all in with an ace Q offsuit. That's good to know. He just called, so we know he doesn't have an ace queen or better. This particular guy, he goes all in with ace, 9, and ace-8. Everybody check to me. I'm going to check and look at my free cards. I have nothing. I had nothing, and I'm going to fold. I'm getting back to the rebuys. As I said, this tournament you could re-enter for the first 30 minutes in this tournament, and I waited until the last minute to enter. And there's a reason that I did that, because a lot of these guys, like this guy who rebuys all the time, they play fast and loose, and you might have a better hand, but they get lucky. And this happens a lot in the beginning of a tournament where people can rebuy. And so that's why I waited until the last second to enter this tournament, and why I usually do that. A lot of the professionals do that in big tournaments. They wait until the last minute to enter because for the same reason. There's a lot of people out there that really don't know what they're doing, or they do know what they're doing and they're just don't really care about the money, but they tend to bluff and play cards that they ordinarily wouldn't, and any one of those people can get lucky and knock you out. And by the time the rebuy period is over, most of those players have been eliminated, and the people that are remaining know that they can't rebuy, so they don't take chances like they would when the rebuy period is still open. I've got a 2-9 suited here. I'm going to fold them because they're just not good cards. I mean, it's nice to have 2 cards of the same suit because you can get a flush, but I need something higher than a 2 and a 9. If I would have called with my 9, I would have an inside straight draw. A jack would give me a straight. And now with a pair on the board, even if I had an open end straight, the odds that somebody's going to have a full house are good, and a straight is no good when you're looking at a possible full house. One of these guys has a full house. I almost guarantee it. Yep, this guy's got a queen. House 10's full of queens. And this guy, the guy that just got eliminated, called with an ace high. He if somebody didn't have a pair for the full house, then he would have had a chance at the pot. And but I wouldn't necessarily call it. It kind of depends on how many chips I have and who I'm playing against. Right now, there's 76 players left, so the number of players is getting down quite a bit. And right now, anybody that's still in the tournament gets at least 102,000. So at this point, I've at least doubled my money. And now I have a pair of kings. I'm early in the board. I don't want anybody to call because somebody could call with an ace. I'm going to go all in. And unless somebody has a pair of aces or is feeling real lucky, they're going to get out. The reason I go all in with a pair of kings is because if the flop comes up with an ace, then I'm going to lose. And I would rather take a small pot with no chance of winning, of losing, than risk a little bigger pot. I'm going to fold this queen jack because I'm at the beginning of the rotation. Ordinarily, I would play a queen jack if nobody raised, but I've got here, this particular player went all in. So if I would have called with a queen jack, I would have to call this bet. It would put me all in, and I won't go all in with a queen jack, especially a queen jack that are offsuit. This Fingers Canadian guy is thinking about it. Okay, now I have an ace-9, and I'm in the big blind, so I'm in pretty good shape here, unless somebody makes a large bet, a large raise. I'm going to get to look at my free cards. And I don't know if I would call a raise this from the small blind here or not. We'll see. He didn't. He folded, so I'm just going to check and hope that I can somehow win this pot. This guy's the last up, and he may or may not have a queen, but or a 5. But I'm going to fold simply because I've got a lot of chips, and the longer I stay in this tournament, the more chips I'm going to make. Now I have a queen jack again, and this time I'm in the small blind. So I mean, I'm almost halfway in. It'll cost me $600 to play this hand, and unless somebody raises, I'm going to call. Oh, I'm not going to call because this guy went all in. So once again, I fold. And that's, I can't stress enough, you just have to be patient in this game. And because the longer you remain patient, the more people that are not patient get knocked out. Now I've got a queen jack, I'm on the button. I'm in a king jack, and I'm on the button. I'll probably call this. And possibly raise. I'm just going to call. Well, that's not a good. That's not a good flop for me. But I'm going to check. Now, this guy's the big blind. He has nothing in it. This guy is, this is the guy that rebuys 3 times. And I'm going to fold simply because of the fact that he's got way more chips than I do. He may have well, this guy's from Bosnia, and I mentioned this before. People from Bosnia, I mean, people from different parts of the world tend to call with cards that are not as good as I would and as most United States players would. Yeah, see, he called with, well, this was his big blind, so he was in there anyway. But anyway, now I have an A6. I'm one before the button. I'm going to fold simply because I'd like to wait for some better cards. Like I say, this is a rotational game, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more hands before I have to pay the big blind. Now, and as it turns out, if I would have called, I would have lost. So, hindsight. I don't know what just happened here, but they moved the button. Well, okay, they put me at a different table and the button moved. So instead of having 3 hands before I paid the big blind, now I just have 1, which isn't really fair. But that's what happens as they consolidate the number of players. We're down to 61 players, and the least anybody's going to make is 134,000 at this point. No, 124,000. So, like I say, I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to play, and hopefully the hands that I do play, I win. If I don't get good cards, I don't play, and I just watch as all these other people get eliminated. I'm down to 48th place. This particular guy, he calls with a 4-8 suit. That's my notes on him. But and he's raised, so I have no idea what he has. But he's from Italy, and he's pretty aggressive. I didn't have that in my notes. Well, yeah, he calls with a 4-8 suit. That's pretty aggressive. He's been raising now twice in a row. So anyway, I didn't have good cards. I had a what did I have? A 2-6, and all right. Well, this particular guy is knocked out. Now I have a king-4. I'm on the button. Even though being on the button is a good position, I'm not going to play, and especially because this guy raised. Well, this guy was at my table earlier, except he was on the other side of me. I haven't been making notes on these players, and if I wasn't talking and paying attention to making a video, I would be adding notes on all these players. Jack 10 are decent cards, but I'm going to fold because there's 5 people behind me. I'm going to block this guy's image. I'm going to block that image too. And actually, now I'm looking at the scoreboard. We're down to 54 players, and I'm in 50th place. So I'm going to need to play real soon here. I'm not going to play with a king 9 offsuit, but these blinds are up to 1,600, and I only have enough chips for one more blind. Now maybe I should have called with that king 9. A lot of people would when they're in my position, but as I say, I'm in 50th place. Right now, I would make 135,000 for a profit of 85,000 if I get knocked out, which obviously is becoming a reality here. I need to do something real fast, and I don't like to be in this position, but I'm a patient player, and I'm just waiting for an opportunity to, and hoping that I get some good cards so that I can play. First place in this tournament is 1.9 million chips. Second place is 1.36 million. Third place is 989,000. Fourth place is 732,000. So you can see what happens in these tournaments. The higher you finish, the prize grows exponentially. Now I've got a 7-5 offsuit. I'm running out of time, but I'm not going to play that. I'm in 47th place now. There's 48 players left. So I have one more hand before I have to play the big blind. So there's a good chance that I'm going to play one of the next two hands and either win or get knocked out. So far, this recording is 27 minutes. I have a 5-2 offsuit. That's not good. There's 48 players now. If right now 48th would pay 135,000, 45th place would pay 146,000. So I'm real sure that I can, if I don't get a good hand, if I don't get good cards, I can make it into the next payment category. And so anyway, we'll see. People are getting knocked out left and right in this tournament. Okay, so now I have a queen 9, and I'm going to call this, even though, well, no, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. This guy's gone all in. He's gone all in. Right now, there's 46 players. I could get knocked out here, but I'm going to fold simply because of the fact that I'll make money. I made it into the next category, and I would have lost anyway. So now I have an A7, and I'm going to go all in here. Like I say, it pays to pay attention to the number of players and the prize money. Now I've got an A7, and I could win this pot. No, I won't, because this guy got a pair of 5s. But anyway, so I finished 44th out of 497 players. I made 146,000, so my profit was 96,000. So that's all for today. It's 30-minute tournament play is over.